guys. Can everyone hear me?
No.
I can hear you.
Speak into the microphone like this.
I am speaking into the microphone like
Put your hand around it because the microphones weren't corrected right.
Alright guys, good morning. I am Chad Michael. I help run and founder of the Inland Empire Bronies group. Welcome to the Brony Meetup group panel.
Hello, I'm Christian Dobson. I'm a co-admin for the Inland Empire Bronies, and I'm also a admin administrator for Equestria Vanguard, which is an online gaming site.
My name is Katie the Great. I am the founder and owner of Desert Bronies for the High Desert in California. I also help out with the Everfree Network and Equestria Digital.
My name is Dr. Centennial. I kind of co-run the Desert Bronies with Kibby here. And yeah, I play the pianos and such. So, yep. Oh. And?
That's the record for you guys.
Oh.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Christian the Doctor. I'm a member of the SoCal Bronies, and I'm also senior admin for the SoCal Bronies Facebook page, and been leading meetup groups in San Diego and such throughout much of the year, since I was the only one doing it.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give everybody kind of a little bit of
Speak
background.
into the microphone.
I just wanted to give people kind of a background into why I started my meetup group and kind of why we do what we do. So kind of after I found the Brony fandom, I realized that where I live, I didn't know any other Bronies. And I kind of just figured, oh, there's got to be some. So I kind of started a group on Facebook, and I figured if I got 10 likes, held one meetup, hey, that's a success. It's been about a year and a half now, and I almost 200 members. In fact, I don't even know how many meetups anymore. If you were at the dinner yesterday, that was us. And yeah, it's kind of awesome.
How I got started with meetups was about a year back. I was wondering, doing his his season finale meetup, where we actually got a large screen. We watched the episodes. It was actually a lot of fun. And then with Equestrian Vanguard, I got started by just being a normal member of it, and then later on, they asked me to help them with their site design, and then later administration. So that was how I got started there. Yeah, just kind of like why did you start the group? How did it kind of start?
All right. I'd say my group probably started out at a local high school. I put a little video clip of Rainbow Dash in front of about 500 high schoolers, and the reactions were actually pretty good. And I found out that there were about 20 other Bronies at my high school that were there that I never knew about. And when I was talking to them individually, they were all saying to me that they don't like talking about it publicly because they didn't know anyone else. So slowly my group started at Apple Valley High School, and it kind of grew into this thing to where it was open for the whole High Desert, because I didn't want, people to feel afraid about liking the show and feel lonely. So thus our meetup group was born.
Yeah, and the way I actually ended up getting into the meetup group scene was that. I'm not sure if we should put a thing in the jar for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, what we're doing up here is we kind of have inside jokes that we'll do, or random things that, like memes. This is our meme jar. So whenever we do little memes, we put $1 in the jar because we shouldn't be doing memes. It is all going to charity. Anyway though, so I got into meetup groups with Gibby here. And how did I find the meetup group? Well, I actually found it through one of the postings you guys had on EQD and one of the nightly roundups. I saw it there, I'm like, no way, that's local, isn't it? And I rolled over to a Starbucks meetup once a week, and yeah. that was just when I was starting out, I think. I had only done like 4 songs on my YouTube channel at that point. So, very new. And so we grew. And Yoshi.
The reason why I started my meetup groups is because majority of the times there's very few. Originally started in San Diego, as I started to lead more meetups and such. More and more people started to pop up. It was last year in the beginning of February, and as everyone wanted to come to San Diego to just be in the meetups alone, I suggested them each make your own meetups in your local area. It's much easier. And then now this year, such, there's so many meetups nearly everywhere in SoCal that now there isn't enough or at all in SD. So pretty much I end up having to run most of them in San Diego.
Awesome. Okay, now to get to the meat of this thing. So, Yoshi, since you kind of do all your stuff down in San Diego, and you've mentioned to me before that you have to everything you kind of have to pay for it, you have to pay for parking. How do you handle that when planning one of your meetups?
Well, one, you do have to actually do reconnaissance. Know the environment. Where is the areas that are free, where you can park, where you can actually stay at events that are local, which you don't have to pay a single dime, but you can watch and enjoy it as much as you want.
Okay, so kind of just scout out the area before, even before you make the announcements.
True. Because if you announce a place, like for example, a theater or a hotel or a market and such, you'll end up maybe paying parking alone $5, $10, $20 a pop. And food is expensive, and just gas is expensive, which for everyone, no one likes to pay gas. And I know they all don't like that.
But, okay, TV Doc, what about you guys? You guys are up in the high desert, there ain't nothing around. You get tumbleweeds and stuff.
Yeah, we have meetups where we chase around tumbleweeds all day long.
It's amazing.
There's actually a lot of places up in the high desert. We have our own local mall up there. We go to places around there, and I try to do the same thing with the meetups that I plan to do with Doc. I try to make it to where people don't have to spend money, because we know not everyone has the best financial things going on right now. So we try to make it to where we have a meetup where people don't have to go to places where they have to pay for parking or pay for a seat. But we usually just try to go to places that are really open, places where we can be a little bit louder and not bother people.
Being outside is definitely a plus, especially if you have a larger group or your group's prone to singing. It's definitely nice to have an outdoor area where you can kind of move away from other people who might be bothered. I remember when we did our New Year's meetup. Doc, you were at that one.
Yep.
And we ended up taking, we're outside of the Starbucks, and we were just kind of in between 2 buildings. We set up your piano, and we were singing songs, and nobody seemed to have a problem. So that's one thing we always consider if you guys ever plan a meetup and you want to sing songs. Try to be outside. If you go into a mall, kind of tone it down a bit. You don't want to bother anybody. I was at one of Kiwi's meetups at a mall in High Desert. We had 4 or 5 security guards following us around.
We had about at least almost 40-something bronies running through the mall obnoxiously, and we had half the mall security staff watching us. Because all they saw was a giant mob of people running through the mall, hearing a whole bunch of grown men yelling at the top of their lungs, "I hope they have a Pinkie Pie shirt!" So they were really confused, and I actually stopped one of them and told them, "Yeah, we're just a loud group, sorry about the problems." But it's just one of those things where, I did tell the people before we went into the mall, don't be overly loud, try not to, irritate other people. Because that's one of the things we don't want to do when we have a big, large group of people. You don't want to irritate the public. I mean, that's something that everyone should do in general.
Yep.
Dollar on the neutral.
It's a dollar. What? That's a dollar.
It's a dollar.
Is that considered?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's
Do it for charity.
Charity.
Does anyone know the charity this year's EQLA?
It's child's play, yeah.
They do it.
Do it for the children, Doc.
I made a joke review.
What about you, Christian? Because you do stuff outside of the Inland Empire group.
I've done a bit of the Ontario meetup groups. I've done one or two of those over by Ontario. And so at the mall, you have a large group of people. So you try to find venues that fit that type of group of people. My answer was GameWorks is a good way to just get a lot of people in there. You know, it works out better for them. I also do online, so trying to. With online, it's a little bit easier, if only because everyone's kind of used to this set of time. So, like, instead you do an online group, if you have administrative, control, or maybe just make a thread, just say, hey everyone, we're all going to be doing this game this time, or we're doing this meet with another clan at this time. So you kind of being punctual with time is actually fairly important, especially online. Also dealing with different time zones and other things like that. That's something that you have to also watch out for. Because a lot of my group is German, so I have to make sure it's universal time over there. So that's what I have to deal with and get it up and running.
And that kind of brings me to another thing. If you do decide to plan a meetup, you need to kind of schedule a time where you can get the most people there. I think almost all of my meetups, except ones for the two I've done for EQLA, have all been on a Saturday. Usually in the early afternoon to mid-afternoon time, get the most people. And kind of back to like doing stuff at an arcade. You don't want to do something that's too expensive. Because if somebody wants to go and spend a lot of money and go all out on games, they can. But if somebody just kind of wants to hang out, they can do that too.
Yeah, you have to definitely plan people's budgets accordingly, because bronies are not necessarily always the best funded to go around and do what they do. So it helps if it's just something that, go to Starbucks or go to Scandia, or go to, these simple things.
Let's go to the local park and throw a frisbee around.
Yeah, why not?
Something like that.
Potlucks are amazing.
Yes.
They are. Everyone brings something, and it all grows into one homogeneous mass of food.
What about getting the word out there? What do you guys do to kind of get people to know that, hey, there's going to be a meetup on Saturday? What do you do?
Well, the most obvious thing we do is we do put a post on our Facebook page, and then we branch out to other things too. Like, we'll send a letter off to Seth and Calpain at Equestria Daily, because they feature, and the nightly roundup, towards the bottom, there's like a little meetup section. It'll be like, there's a meetup, this coming Saturday, insert information here. And there's also in Southern California, there's the SoCal Brony Meetup Bulletin, which has a bunch of
This guy.
yeah. And they graciously let me and Carrick last year at EQA, they told us to start putting our meetups on their site as well. And that also gets the word out to a lot of people. I think my meetups have grown twice in size since I started posting on there.
Was anybody here at the pre-EQLA dinner last night at IHOP?
Yeah!
Okay, that one, it's something I did last year, and I ended up getting it out on Equestria Daily, I put it up on my page, on all
Desert
over.
Bronies.
This year, I got busy with other stuff, my next panel and things, and I didn't get it on Equestria Daily, and we had almost 50 people, if not more than that. So, just telling people, tell your friends, and kind of do that whole tree thing. You tell two friends, I'll tell two friends, so on and so forth. Just tell people, become friends with other admins, and tell them, and they'll help spread the word for you. That's always great. PP helps me out a ton.
Which, I don't know if you guys follow the SoCal Brony Bulletin on Facebook too, but they also just put a post out too. They're also interested in looking for people who want to. Yeah, go for it, if you know what I was talking about right now.
Well, in my Facebook page on SoCal Brony's bulletin board, whenever you have some kind of meetup within the area of SoCal, you you can always just drop an IM or something like that, which events and such. And we would gladly actually post it up for you. Although I would recommend that you would have it, like, do tell us more or less personally, because usually we get a whole bunch of instant messages drowned out. But it isn't that often people do that, since they usually forget and just put it on their Facebook page normally, which doesn't get a lot of attention. Usually you always have to go to the ones that a lot of people go to, like the one that is mine.
And if some of you people are looking for, maybe more local meetups, Equestria Daily just put up a map.
Yes.
That you can go and you can check that out. And I haven't looked at it in a while, but
The Inland Empire of Bronies is located in Barstow, according to the map.
yeah, I know. I need to post that. I need to email them, but if you're looking for a group, you can search around. I actually would have just Googled, SoCal Brony groups and see what you can find. And if you happen to find there isn't one near you, start it. Like I did. I just started it just to see what would happen, and it's honestly been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So.
And that's how I kind of got mine started too, because one of my friends was telling me about the Inland Empire of Bronies group, and we live up in the high desert. We're still a pretty good drive away from most of their meetups. So we figured, why not have something a little more locally, because we've been having a lot more Bronies where I live compared to now.
And then on the online side, like to say you're running like gaming groups, a good website system that it actually allows you to really help, get the word out to your other members and stuff. Engine, if any of you ever heard of it, Engine's a really good gaming clan website. With it, you can set up like global announcements, so anyone under your who's registered on your page, everyone can get an email. Now everyone knows in your group. So let's say there's not a lot of people who frequent the forum because of other obligations. They can at least maybe on their email, it's a message, bam, they know what's happening now. So that's another good tool if you want to get the word out for your website. Like you say your website, your gaming group, whatever.
Yes. Although the majority of the people usually go to the SoCal Bronies Meetup page, which turns out to actually have a lot more members than last year.
It's doubled.
It actually,
What do you guys have now?
it doubled, quadrupled nearly more than I imagined. And along with that, if you're looking for any meetups in Europe, first look for the ones that are available right now, or you can set one up and see what you catch. It's not me.
So another thing I just thought of is it's good to bear in mind that whenever there are big conventions like this one that we're at right now, we tend to stop holding meetups for about a week or two ahead of time. Because everyone's going, oh my gosh, there's a convention coming up. We need to get ready for the convention. As you can tell, a lot of us, we even had a panel going on. So we were doing tons of collaboration, trying to figure out how this panel was going to go. And everyone just kind of scatters and everyone's running around with chickens with their heads cut off, trying to figure out what is going on for the convention. So if you know that there's a big one going on like EQLA in your local groups, like us, we're in the high desert, the Inland Empire, and SoCal respectively. We are all right in this area.
San Diego as well.
Yeah, San Diego as well.
Yeah, it scares, but
Yeah, but you have to bear in mind that if there is a big convention going on, you might need to leave a little bit of time in between meetups leading up to it. I think our last one was about 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, and everything else has been set up for, right now.
But then on the offhand too, because I've already gotten a couple of messages from people in my group too, once the convention is over, have a meetup like a week or two later for the people who couldn't go, because some of them want to hear about how the convention went and they want to, find out what happened.
One thing that I like to do is, when was the last little chibi meetup I did?
Wasn't that almost 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago or so, I kind of stole an idea from Kimi of a chibi meet, where you just meet up at a coffee shop, you don't have anything really planned, you kind of throw out the the info maybe a week before, kind of see what happens. And those are always kind of fun. 'Cause I had one little meetup run for 12 hours.
Yeah, that used to happen with ours. We'll meet up at Starbucks, and then you never know where you're gonna end up. We'll like go to Target, and then we'll go to Del Taco, get some grub, and then
Or Taco Bell.
whatever's local, whatever's right there. Usually in shopping centers, they have a lot of stuff centrally located. You can do a lot of stuff just by going and just checking around what's out. And if it's a store, if you have a big old chain store that has Brony stuff in it, hey, why not? Get a run on in there, see if they have blind bags, see if they have cards. Just, as we were saying earlier, try not to disturb the public.
It is really, really fun to walk into a Toys R Us with a big group of guys and buy a Pinkie Pie plushie. When they go, "Do you need a gift receipt?" Go, "Nope."
We get the best stares from others when they ask us, "Oh, well, how old is your daughter that you're buying this for?" And when we tell them, "Oh, well, this is for me." And they look at us and they're like, usually people don't bother us about it. I mean, I don't see why people tend to be afraid of walking down the dreaded quote-unquote pink aisle. I don't think we've ever gotten any backlash, have we?
Not really, not ever.
Not at all.
Yeah, for those toy collectors out there, don't be afraid to walk down the pink aisle.
But do
Work it.
beware, just keep the aisle where you left it before.
Yes.
Don't mess it up. Please, trust me, you do not want to piss off the employees and such. Next thing is like, please leave, get out. You don't want to leave them a bad impression in any shape, way, or form.
Just because they didn't have your Applejack doesn't mean you have to destroy the whole aisle.
Yes.
And if you are looking for blind bags, don't open them.
Look at the number.
Yeah, you can look up the number. Isn't there an app for it now?
Yes, there already is.
Yeah. So, because I ended up at a Target that started carrying the blind bags, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab a couple blind bags. All of them were open. So.
Oh, one final thing. Never make meetups during conventions.
Yes.
You're just going to frustrate yourself to no end, because once you find one another, you lose the others. And especially, don't do it during Comic-Con. For the love of Mercy of Celestia, never do it during Comic-Con.
Especially in San Diego.
Not even. Comic-Con is very chaotic, and you lose people at the first second you see them.
No one will be able to pet Shamu with you during Comic-Con.
There's even people who don't even have badges. I'm lucky enough to as a volunteer, and most people don't even have badges. They sold out in less than 2 minutes. I'm guessing. So just because you make a meetup at Comic-Con doesn't mean there's going to be people joining you.
Okay, to kind of change gears just a little bit. When you're dealing with a large group of people, how do you guys deal with those obnoxious, very loud people, or people kind of? I try to keep my group kind of PG-13 at the worst. How do you guys deal with somebody who maybe is being inappropriate?
I cry inside a little bit. No, usually, especially with my meetup group, because I guess a lot of people have told me this, my meetup group has like a lot younger members compared to the average meetup group. A lot of us are still in high school and just barely getting into college. I mean, usually if someone starts acting like that, I'll just pull them aside a little bit, tell them probably shouldn't be saying that around someone who's 7 years old. Usually what I try to tell them is if you can't talk about what you want to talk about right next to Michelle Grieber or one of the other Cutie Mark Crusader voice actors, you probably shouldn't talk about it at one of the meetups.
And then I run an online site. I use Mumble. There's a little Mumble TeamSpeak. Easiest thing, local mute. There's a lot of tools, at least online. You're not directly dealing with people, so there's easy ways to just local mute, or as an administrator, I could just pull someone and say, hey, tone it down, or just stop, causing problems to other people. On my website, I only had to actually use disciplinary measures, only 2 people. And my website has upwards of 100, 100 people with about 50 people always active throughout the site, always.
So basically what you're saying is, talk to them, give them a couple of warnings, and take it from there if needed.
Doc, you ran a couple of meetups of mine. How do you manage that while I'm not there?
Well, the way that I've ended up managing it over time is
He rules with an iron fist.
Yes.
Actually,
You will stop now!
This is an EQLA character. It's an iron.
Yes. Get it right. Anyway, so the way that I've usually tended to handle it is generally they've been pretty well behaved. Pretty much everyone who has been at the meetups that I have run have also been at the ones that you have run. And we've kind of, if someone is saying something inappropriate, I've actually been at other meetups as well where somebody will start talking about something that probably shouldn't. So I will actually go up and confront and say, you know what, just for the sake of we're in a public place, we're in a mall, we're in a Denny's. Think of the people who are around us. What are the impressions they're getting, not only of us, but of, if they don't know the fandom, they're, I hear the word Brony, maybe I'll look it up. And, they look it up, and what's the first impression they're going to get if they heard you talk about all this kind of funky stuff?
What is this brownie talking about? Insert statement here.
I think I've heard $1.
I've had coworkers of mine come up and go, so you're a brownie? I'm like, yes, I am a delicious chocolate.
What is that
Yes.
joke?
Yes, if you'll get that too, if people start hearing what you guys are talking about, I've gotten it before. I have had people come up to me and ask me during one of my meetups, what is a brownie? I try my hardest not to tell them it's some chocolate stuff that you put in the oven at 350 degrees. But just, politely explain it to them, tell them what you guys are, because I did that to one person, and he actually still walked in the show today.
I've had similar things happen at my meetups too, where someone's like, so what is this? And they, and I kind of pull them aside and I tell them, the whole thing about, about what a brony is, about the, remake of the show, the reboot of the show. And I've had a few of them start showing up to my meetups. It's kind of awesome. One thing, kind of the best advice I can give for anything in this fandom is have fun with it. Meetups are fun. Running meetups is fun. If you're not having fun, you ain't doing it right.
Yeah, you can bring plushes, you can have people bring art, do art in them. I know myself, I just personally got into sketching just a little while ago, and I plan on bringing my sketchbook to meetups. It can be a blast. I think I've seen tons of people, not only at our meetup schedule, but also Shadow and your guys' meetups. Tons of people bring sketchbooks. Oh my goodness.
It's like the artist gallery at most of the meetups, to be honest.
Yep. God darn it.
Also, the best thing is breaking your arms at air hockey.
Oh yeah.
I think I played at least 100 rounds of air hockey at one of those meetups. We had a little contest going on whoever could beat one of us got a free pair of pony socks. So, it's little things like that make your meetup, less than just, it makes it more than just, let's go get coffee and discuss the show.
Yeah, I remember that meetup. I ended up getting a couple of blind bags, and I was giving out prizes like, you can beat me at this round of DDR. You win, an Applejack. And I ended up throwing a Celestia button and a Sundrock to somebody who beat me at, I think, a racing grade.
I see you, Saber. I Saber.
Your mom. So, do you guys have questions? No?
Yeah. Which is better, San Bernardino or Riverside?
That would be a question for...
I think you'll have to visit both and decide for yourself.
Yeah.
Riverside.
Do you like the really old rundown mall in San Bernardino that has very lovely people walking around at night? Or do you love, what is there in Riverside? I don't know. I don't really go to Riverside that much. I've been to San Bernardino.
There's a cool college there, but you see Riverside.
I haven't had any meetups. I haven't had any meetups out in Riverside yet, but I'm planning some. So keep an eye out on the Empire Brony website. So
Yeah, it works.
Speak into the microphone.
speaking into the microphone.
Thank you, Shadow.
I'm doing this like a girl straight up. Fighting to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do any of the other guys or girls in the audience have a question?
Any other questions? Feel free to ask. Peter, you're not allowed to ask questions. Peter, you are a question.
Hello, Saber. Where's Draft?
He's probably talking to himself or something now.
He has half of this convention saying, you know what?
Wait till you're saying his pun.
Should I say it?
No. You'll have to put $1 in if you do.
I don't have any dollars left, so I won't say it.
Say, I'll throw a 20 in.
Oh.
Do it.
Of course, you only have 20s.
You better say it a lot then. I expect you to be saying it for the rest of the day.
I'm doing this for you.
Please
guys.
don't. No. Well, at least it's for the kids.
It's for the
It's
kids.
for the children.
We love you, Christian.
We love you, Child's Play. There's a 20 for you.
Yeah, there's a saying going around.
Here, you need a mic that works really well for this one.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Same here. Can I say it for him?
Hello, Kibbles. Kibbles, aww.
That's what we're talking about?
There's a running joke going around that my nickname sounds like dog food, and I am here to say that it doesn't. So if you hear this during the QLA, it is not dog food.
We love you, Kibbles.
You put a 20 in. We get to say it for the rest of the panel now.
That's not fair. Anyway, though, was there anything else that?
Saberspark, was it Princess Kibbles or just Kibbles?
No, we're not going there. No, thank you.
In our mumble chat next to the room, Kibble, please.
No, the new thing is like oven grates.
No.
You know how to spell that word? They changed the way that they spell grate. Instead of G-R-V-A-T, they spell my name G-R-A-T-E. That seems to be the new joke now.
Nice.
Saber, quick, make this all into a meme right now. Do this now. No, really, do it now. Tweet.
Do what?
Please don't. Draft is already.
Make this into
Please don't. Draft already started a hashtag, and I'm scared that it's gonna grow.
I can spread this around rapidly on my Facebook. Just give me a 1 minute.
Anyway, though, Carrick, is there anything else that you wanted to
Yes, but drawing things
get
back.
back on?
Yeah, to get a little back on track. Nobody has any questions? No.
No.
Bert? Yes.
What is the best advice you give? What is the best advice you give to when you're a brony but you bring your friends who are not bronies? What's the best way to make them fit in?
Good question. Very good question.
The first thing that I'll punch in right here is don't force them to go, please.
Exactly.
I know when I first discovered the fandom, I went through a phase where it's like, show everybody, all pony, all the time. And I have kind of less friends now. But, kind of like if you think they'd be interested, be like, hey, do you want to check out this show? If they like it, cool. If they don't, cool. Just don't push it on them. If you think that somebody, who's kind of like on the fence about, it's like, I like the show, but I don't know about the fandom, bring them to like maybe a smaller meetup and just kind of, show them, let them wade in a bit.
Just hang out. Well, I mean, heck, hanging out's better than just throwing episodes at them like.
I know that I brought a few friends to an airsoft meet. Didn't really discuss the show, but if anything, my friend is actually now has an interest of just at least going to the older meetups. It's funny because it's like, hey, it's a large group of people who I can hang out with my friend, and we all can do something together. That's kind of going back on a point you made, Carrie. You do this to have fun. So you invite your friend knowing that, hey, these are cool groups. This is a cool group of people. I know them. Let's go and do something. Let's go do airsoft. Let's go do paintball. Whatever.
Just don't make it awkward.
Yeah, I know they already hit on a lot of the bigger points, but we have had a couple of people come to my meetups that, they haven't even watched the show yet. They knew nothing about the fandom, but they came with one of their friends. And, the biggest thing is don't force the show on them. It's an instant way to have someone leave your meetup that you're having, because it just won't. They'll feel forced. Just, if they want to hear more about the show, you can show it to them. If not, just treat them like you would any of your other friends and just have a fun meetup with them.
Welcome, Lawrence.
Hello, Fausticorn.
That's my companion.
Were there any other questions before we, I think it's almost about time.
Any last questions before we adjourn?
This is more personal for Apple Valley. Is there anything to see there besides just passing through for Las Vegas?
Is there anything to do in Apple Valley aside from just passing through to go to Vegas?
Tumbleweeds.
Buck apples?
Tumbleweeds are amazing.
I actually think really quick, I don't think why would you be going to Vegas?
Apple Valley has been growing a little bit. We finally got our own movie theater. I know we're moving up in the world, but we have our own movie theaters now.
3 movie
Yeah,
theaters.
we've been having like everything shoot up in Apple Valley. There are the fine things in Apple Valley to go visit, like the parks that have graffiti all over them, and let's see what else is there. We can hunt rattlesnakes in my backyard.
The wrong message.
Rattlesnake is delicious.
Free rattlesnake jerky.
Do you have any horses out there?
Yes, actually in Apple Valley there are a lot of.
Okay, so I was driving past one of the high schools and I saw someone actually riding a horse with a backpack away from that high school.
That would be Apple Valley High School.
No, that would be Granite Hills High School.
Wow.
I want to know where you can hitch up your horse at that high school because that is awesome.
they just tie it to the bike rack. I mean, you know.
Most hardcore brony ever.
Yeah, there are some equestrian ranches up in the high desert. I don't know anyone that owns any of them anymore. My last friend that owned one moved away.
I used to know one in high school, but I haven't been keeping in touch with them.
I think I may know one. I just can't remember who it was technically. There's so many people live in the outskirts area that you can't remember their names.
Well, aside from that, though, to answer your question, well, if you're going up there for a Brony Meetup, if you're going up there to hang out with the group, there's a lot of things you can do that are, hangouty sort of stuff. We do have like a standee up there. We have a mall to go bum around. We have multiple outlets that sell pony merch.
Laser tags, mini golf, bowling.
But be realistic and don't just try to go into a 200-mile meetup and then you sort of like, it's not that good. Be realistic. Carpool with people who are within your local area. That's one of your things you must do. Carpool. Be realistic on the distance you want to go.
That's something we didn't get a chance to touch on. Is like carpooling. Like he's up in the high desert. Not many people want to drive out that far. I know I went.
Everyone wants to drive thousands of miles to see dirt and weeds.
I live in San Diego and I'm the most southernest one ever.
And you can never come to my meetup.
Goodbye, Savior.
Maybe because I don't have a car. Sorry.
But my point is then you should be able to get to my meetups every time, and you should be early.
And you should come to them multiple times.
I can explain on that one.
But anyway, guys.
Yeah.
I just be open to like carpooling because you want your meetups to be big, as big as you can. So if somebody's like, hey, I don't have a ride, go the extra little bit and pick them up if you have to, or we'll try to organize something. Carpool lists are your friends.
Get reliable rides. Reliable. Don't rely on ones that are like give a maybe or a if or such, and then they flinch out.
Don't rely on the person who just got their driver's license the other week.
Or drink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but in all seriousness though, yes. And especially if you have like a first-time goer who's like, oh, I really want to go, but I can't make it. Can somebody please pick me up? You might have somebody who is a really, really cool guy to hang out with at these meetups, and all you need to do is drive an extra 2 miles to go pick the guy up because he might not have transportation. And just go out of your way a little bit. You might find a friend that you might otherwise never have had.
Yeah.
Most importantly,
All you guys are my friends, and I wouldn't have met you guys if it wasn't for meetup groups.
I'm Shadow Senpai's friend.
you're my best friend.
I was talking to Doc.
Aww.
You insult me.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
You guys.
Oh yeah, but one important tip: pay for the gas, or at least chip in. I mean,
Yeah.
$5 a gallon. That's equivalent to a Subway to me, and that's painful. Trust me.
Yeah.
Subway a day.
That's a meatball
God.
sub down the
I know. It's just painful for me to just pay $5.
That's almost a Starbucks.
Yeah. But please, if you are having something to think of, yes, please chip in. It helps so
The
much.
correct amount. Don't give like too little or too much. Give the correct amount on the distance. And you can give a little extra if you're able to. Because, I mean...
Or at least give what you can.
Yeah.
I mean, usually people are pretty chill about, like, oh, yeah, you're able to give me just a little bit of me just to pay for a little bit of gas. I'm fine with that. I mean, if I had to pick something before it's like, I ended up there, yeah.
Yeah, we're almost done there, guys.
Yeah.
Are there any last questions before we get out of here?
Any questions? Any questions?
No.
No more questions? No?
Maybe
come
just
on.
one.
Yes?
Coming up.
Just best ways to meet up. Like you have a meetup, you have a smaller group of people, you want to get more people to know about it. What are the best like websites and things to go?
Where are you looking to start a meetup at?
Myself, I haven't thought of anything yet, but let's just say I live in the Irvine area.
You can come up here.
Oh,
and
wait.
use this mic.
Irvine?
This
That's
is
easy.
something that Yoshi might be able to answer.
Yes, this guy.
Yes, okay. If you're trying to actually make meetups in Irvine, there's already meetups more or less within the LA and Irvine and Anaheim area. Tons. And people are still nagging. Last year, people still nagged, why is there any meetups? And now there are. I suggest you go to the SoCal Brony's meetup page.
I'm already on that page.
Alright, then make meetup page and just contact me on the SoCal Brony's bulletin board on Facebook. Say you have this meetup, and I'll put this up. Actually, I'm in charge of it, putting it up. So pretty much just tell me and I'll do it.
And then, if you send a message to like my group or Carrick's group too, like everyone that sent me a message saying that they're having a meetup, somewhere in California, I usually post them on my page too.
So don't just stick with one website. Stick with anywhere that's actually.
I usually go about 5 different mediums of getting my meetups like out there to the community.
EQDs, and just EQD, just send an email to them. But like, let's say you have like a group, like if you have Facebook, just send EQD that link. Yeah, or the meetup.com.
It's also important to make sure that people know where people are meeting. Some people go, like,
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's actually this is one problem that happens a lot. They say in a general area like a mall, but they never say where exactly.
We're going to have a meetup at
Please,
Starbucks in California.
Choose an exact place where it's easy to find.
Can everyone agree with me that there's a Starbucks on almost every road in California? And
Yes.
If you're having a meetup at Starbucks, make sure you put the address.
There's even a Starbucks across the Starbucks in New York. I know, it exists.
And please
It's
put
Okay.
a time. Don't say like lunchtime.
Yeah, because that's different for everybody.
Be punctual.
Yes.
Put out an address. Be like, we will be meeting at this Starbucks here.
And if your host, be there early so that way to be prepared.
Yeah, be there early.
Somebody announced that Brony Meetup at the Diablo 3 launch. I was standing there, sea of black.
Oh, I saw that.
Me wearing a big like sea of black. Diablo 3.
Sounds like you were rocking that Cheryl Thomas.
Actually, I saw that
I
one.
didn't know where to go.
But yeah, definitely, like you want to plan a meetup and just contact somebody. I mean, I'm always around to help. You can find me on Facebook, and PB can help.
Yeah, search Desert Bronies. I'll definitely put a plug in for you.
Although you do have to remember one thing. You do have to remember one thing. Rather than just meet up and just say, oh, hey guys, strangers among strangers, no. Connect with them, talk with them. I mean, the more you talk to them, the more likely you might actually get a ride or advice or information that you didn't know.
Alright, I think that's it, guys. Thank you all for coming out.
Yep.
Speaking of
I love you all.
Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to check out the SoCal Brony Bulletin, Inland Empire Bronies, Desert Bronies, and what's the official name of your thing again?
Mine is the SoCal Brony's bulletin board on the Facebook page. Be aware to actually write down what it says. SoCal Brony's bulletin board on Facebook. Exactly as it is.
If you guys have a problem finding it, just message Inland Empire Bronies or Desert Bronies, and we can send you guys a link to get there. All right?
Also, do catch me as the full suit Dr. Who's walking around everywhere, especially at the rave. You're going to see me neon lights raving.
Thank you, Equestria LA. We love you.
I'm the original Dr. Who's. I am the original Dr. Who's. Don't forget that.
guys.